Besides the fact that I have been learning with hundreds and hundreds of very successful construction business owners, I have established relationship with a lot of great experts in the hiring industry, specifically for construction companies. And I will link these people down below in case you need some help while hiring. I am going to share all the secrets that they shared with me. I am going to share the stories of my clients who successfully implemented hiring the best team members who helped them increase their revenue and ultimately grow. So let's get started. Hello everyone, today we're talking about something that keeps every construction business owner up at night, hiring employees. Let me tell you a story that happened just last month. I was working with Mike, a successful roofing contractor who had been running his business solo for 5 years. He was crushing it, making about $500,000 a year in revenue, but he was working 80-hour weeks and burning out fast. One day he called me completely exhausted, saying he couldn't keep up with all the work. Before I became a bookkeeper specializing in construction, I thought hiring was just about finding someone who could swing a hammer. Man, was I wrong. After working with over 200 construction companies, I've learned exactly what you need to know about bringing in your first employees. Let me break down something crucial. Most contractors wait too long to hire. They're trying to save money, do everything themselves, and end up leaving serious money on the table. I've seen contractors turning down $300,000 contracts because they can't handle the workload. Take time. A general contractor I work with, he was doing everything himself. Estimates, job sites, billing, customer follow-up. By the time he came to me, he was working 90 hours weeks and his business was actually shrinking because he couldn't keep up with demand. Here's the real truth about when to hire. It's not just about having enough work. It's about having a system that can support a new employee. Most contractors make a mistake of hiring before they're ready. You need to have clear job descriptions, established processes, consistent income stream, enough cash reserve to cover at least 3 to 6 months of salaries. Let me tell you about Ed, an electrical contractor who did this perfectly. He tracked his numbers for 6 months before hiring. He knew exactly how much work he could give a new employee, what skills he needed, and how that employee would generate more revenue than what they cost. The financial math is so important. Let's break this down. If you're bringing in $500,000 in revenue and working 80 hours a week, you're essentially leaving money on the table. A good employee might cost you $60,000 a year, but if he can help you bring in an extra $150,000 in revenue, that's a no-brainer. But here's where most contractors mess up. They hire based on technical skills alone. I've seen so many businesses fail because they hired the best tradesman, but the worst teammate. Soft skills also matter. I remember working with a plumbing company that hired the most technically skilled guy in town. The problem? He couldn't communicate with customers, he showed up late and created more problems than he solved. So technical skills are important, but they are not everything. Here's what you really need to look for in your first hire. First, reliability. Do they keep their word? Show up on time? Are they constantly late and making up excuses to cover for themselves? Second one is communication skills. How well do they communicate with you? Are they clear, or do you constantly second guess what they're trying to say? Third, willingness to learn. Are they humble enough to learn from you, or are they too proud simply because they're the best top quality grade A contractor? Next one is positive attitude. Do they bring positivity to your work? Or do you feel like you're working with an emotional vampire who just sucks the life out of you? Alignment with your company values. That's important. Do you mesh well with the company culture you're trying to uphold? Or are they constantly breaking rules you've set and would simply say, this is the way I am, just deal with it? The interview process is where most contractors completely fall apart. They'll ask about technical skills, but they won't dig into how the person actually works. I recommend a multi-step interview process. First is initial phone or video call screening, then technical skills assessment, then practical job site test, and then cultural fit interview. Check references and background check. Compensation is another area where contractors get it wrong. You can't just offer the lowest possible wage and expect top talent. I've seen contractors lose great employees over just a $2 an hour. Your compensation package really should include competitive base wage, performance bonuses, clear path to advancement, potential profit sharing, benefits like health insurance, Let me tell you about Mark, a contractor who did this right. He hired his first employee and created a clear growth plan. Within 2 years, that employee became his operations manager and helped double the business revenue. Onboarding is where the magic also happens. Most contractors do a terrible job here. Your first employee needs clear expectations, comprehensive training, regular check-ins, feedback mechanism, support system. I work with a landscaping company that created a 90-day onboarding program. They invested time upfront in training, and their employee retention went from 40% to 85%. That's the power of doing hiring right. Let's break down the financial implications of hiring your first employee. So when considering the costs of a new hire, you first have to analyze the all-in costs. You need to calculate not just salary, but also payroll taxes, benefits, training costs, and any additional expenses you might incur. Let's say you decide to hire a project manager with a $60,000 salary. You shouldn't just think of the take-home pay. And approximately 20 to 30% to cover additional costs is included. That includes Social Security, Medicare, unemployment insurance, and potential benefits like health insurance. Here's the breakdown. So the base salary is $60,000, payroll taxes approximately 10% is $6,000, benefits and insurance add another $12,000, total cost $78,000 per year for your employee. Now, if that employee can help you take on 2 additional projects that would bring in $100,000 each, you're looking at a potential revenue increase of $200,000 just due to their contributions. This means even with your additional costs, you could net $122,000. In the grand scheme of things, hiring could be one of the best investments that you make. Let's take a moment to really dive into the onboarding process, as this is where many construction companies often miss the mark. It should last at least 90 days and include structured milestones to ensure that new hires are set up for success from day one. When your new employee first starts, the orientation should cover not only the rules of engagement, but also your company's vision and values. By clearly communicating what your company stands for, you set the tone for your organizational structure. In that first week, introduce them to the entire team. If you've started to hire multiple people at the same time, especially, schedule a lunch or a team building activity to kind of break the ice. This not only helps the new hire feel welcome, but also lets the current team know they're all on the same page with training and support. Then come the training sessions. These should be practical and relevant to their role. Implement hands-on training where they can follow experienced employees on jobs. For construction roles, they might need to understand tools and equipment, safety protocols, and customer interactions. Also, establish a mentoring system. Pair your new hire with a veteran employee who can provide guidance and answer any sort of questions without feeling overwhelmed. This helps new hires learn the ins and outs more quickly. Feedback is essential during onboarding. Schedule short, casual meetings every week for the first month. Discuss what they've learned, the challenges they're facing, and where they need additional help. This not only fosters an open environment of communication, but also allows you to adjust your training programs and expectations as needed. After 90 days, set a normal performance review to discuss their progress. This is a key opportunity to formalize their role, discuss future growth, and outline any additional training that might be needed to help them excel in their position and serve your business better. If you're thinking about scaling your business, hiring your first employee is an important moment. If this content is helping you out, hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment if you want me to break down any of these concepts that I've learned from others way deeper. Let's make sure you're building a business, not just a job.